Richard Kang joins us, Chief Investment Officer and Director Research with Emerging Global Advisors. Richard, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Richard, for those who thought that the EU debt crisis was nearing a permanent solution, they are in for some kind of a disappointment.
Right. Think of it like the U.S. situation a few years ago, trying to corral a group of people to agree on a solution when the problem is undefinable is really a problem. Greece and their debt is large, but in the big terms, it's 3% of European GDP, so it's very small. But they can't even put their heads around, a table to agree on something. So what we have now is a problem in the U.S. structurally. People are not spending, they can't get a loan, housing is a problem, joblessness. It's the same in Europe, it's the same in Japan. So the big developed markets are in such a deep set of problems that investors globally have no choice but to look elsewhere.
Richard, how are earnings panning out? Because yesterday's weakness seems to be more to do with earnings disappointment.
Well, it's tough. The investor around the world needs to have some form of yield. There's not enough earnings, and the companies have to push out some kind of yield. It's not their fault that, look at U.S. financials, for example.
Right.
Financials is considered a value play, but how many of them are actually paying a dividend? Citi was zero for a while, maybe a penny. You just can't pay a dividend if there's not enough earnings, and you just can't get earnings if people aren't going out there and providing a fluid economy. If they can't get a loan, if they can't spend, there's a real problem with getting earnings.
Richard, the fact that S&P once again is finding it difficult to scale up beyond 1225 or 1250, do you think in the near term U.S. markets have topped out?
I'm not so much a forecaster. In my past, I did more of that. Now I'm a provider of ETFs, so I provide a tool so others can make that kind of call. But I can say this. The U.S. is having a hard time other than building a base, getting out of that. And I don't think the concern is recession. I think the concern is just extended stagnation of an economy. And that's true for the globe overall. And it's dragging down China and India and everybody else. But you mentioned VIX before. VIX remains strongly above 30. It was down below 30 for a short time on Friday, but essentially for the past few months, especially August, September, it's been sustained above 30. That means the cost of maintaining portfolio insurance is high. People are willing to pay more to insure their S&P 500 portfolio with options. That's not good, right? And furthermore, if they want to put their money in something safe like a T-bill for an extended period of time, people are happy to get basically 0% return on a T-bill. That's not good. So we are definitely in a risk-off period, and therefore the result is emerging markets and other so-called risky assets are not performing well year to date, and that's just the reality.